Hey guys, this is another bigger picture video. The topic I wanted to talk to you about is due diligence. Now, I think of all the videos that I've made, this is probably one that's got a significant amount of importance to it, in the sense that this is not only going to affect you in your educational life, but in your real life too. And we'll kind of cover that in those two perspectives, from the educational side and then from the actual real life outside of college or university. So pertaining to in education though, it's new to you guys. You're coming into college. There's going to be a lot of things that are unfamiliar to you, especially like procedures and just the general way of post-secondary life. And I'm going to say it right now, it's up to you to figure it out. No one's going to hold your hand, and I don't mean that in a condescending manner. It's just that there's going to be a lot of things that are going on. And some people, maybe they've been fortunate enough to have parents that went through college and they've already kind of briefed their kids as to what's going on. Maybe that's the case for you, maybe it's not. There's always new things happening, student societies, due dates, final exams, whatever. That's all going to come down to your due diligence to find out what is going on, find out what applies to you, how things affect you. Now, that also applies to the outside world too, and this is kind of what sparked me to make this video for you, has been some of my own experiences. But you're gonna have some rude awakenings that are really, not anticipated, and probably, I'm willing to bet, not anticipated for your budget either. And a perfect example of what I'm going to explain here is something as simple as getting tickets from traffic violations, be whatever they are, pedestrian vehicle, cycling, anything, drunk and rowdy behavior, partying in the dorms, anything like that. Like I say, I mention this because it's been my experience, and I've witnessed a lot of times where, you think, you're young, you're students, whatever, maybe you're in the educational system because you've got this burning desire to provide to society and make a difference in the world. None of the people on the authority enforcement are going to give two shits about that. As far as they're concerned, you pay their wage, whether they look at it or not. You have money and they're there to collect it, so they're just looking for a reason for you to fuck up. Pardon my language. Now, this sounds like, okay, well, why is he mentioning this? Well, the reason is because in other videos I've explained that college and university is a huge business. And just like anywhere where there's a huge business or a huge economy that's created, there's always little spin-off businesses that try to pick up the scraps. And one of those businesses is your local enforcement. Now, you're probably familiar with such things as parking fees, to park when you drive to your college or university. That was probably maybe a little bit of a surprise, some of these unanticipated costs. And like I say, one of these unanticipated costs is going to be the risk of getting tickets for whatever reason. Like I say, maybe they're a civil matter. You were kind of drunk and disorderly outside of a club, on a Friday night. Something you didn't think you were stepping out of line, you got handed a ticket for. Maybe you're riding your bike in across a road and you didn't signal with your arm, or something that was just maybe back home wouldn't be a big deal, or you just wouldn't think would be a big deal, and all of a sudden you get no warning, bam, you're hit with some kind of ticket that is not in your budget. So you probably best served to hear what I'm saying here, and hopefully avoid those situations by, like I say, doing what's it's called due diligence. Find out exactly what your rights are and your privileges, just what you can get away with and where your responsibilities are expected to be, because again, nobody is going to tell you this. And it comes down to two reasons, really. A, nobody cares, and B, what you don't know is going to cost you, and that's a benefit to somebody else. And those people, they got to eat like everybody else. They got lives and desires and demands like everybody else, and they want you to trip up. So again, getting back to the enforcement policy issue, you gotta think now that you're going to a second or post-secondary education facility. There's several thousand people going to these facilities. You and everybody else make a huge economical impact to that area. You more than likely probably support that area by supporting housing developments and renting from people and the businesses that you buy things from, just to sustain your day-to-day needs. You really have to, get a scope of how much of an impact the education system is. And like I say, and along with this, the enforcement agencies are no stranger to this potential stream of revenue, and they're just looking for an excuse to write you that ticket. So hopefully that's kind of made you a little bit aware of that situation. Like I say, stressing again, find out, what kind of unexpected infractions can be an issue. Some things are so simple as like riding a bicycle down a sidewalk is, it could be a municipal bylaw that you're not aware about. And I will tell you what, you will see heightened police presence around these areas for several reasons. I mean, it's probably sold to you first off as, providing protection for you. But one thing I really want you to kind of consider is that maybe you've had experience with this too. Anytime there's a situation that involves enforcement officers, there's no real profit to be made from it. There's not usually any follow-up. Someone steals your bike, someone has a little bit of a domestic dispute. Do they come back and follow up? Not usually. There's no big thing. But if there's some money to be made, you're going to see them around there. I guess it comes down to as simple as this. I mean, whatever country you're in, just about every country has huge debt. The government has huge debt, and they're looking for any kind of way to get the revenue sources to pay that debt. And one of those ways is just being very vague about whatever laws are out there, and leaving the due diligence on you to find out just when you're going to break one of their rules. And it may come into effect even though it wasn't before, and you're expected to know these things. I mean, nobody pulls you aside in life and makes sure that you have a profound understanding of laws. You're not a lawyer. In fact, you're not a lawyer, and you're not certified by the bar to act as a lawyer. So it's really not your right to know the laws. That is something for those people to know, and that's why they're supposed to represent you in court. That's why there's the saying, only a fool represents himself in court, because you don't know the rules of their game. Unfortunately, just like that expectation of what you're supposed to know at the college level, it's the same thing. No one's doing anything to tell you about it, but you're expected to know. So that's all I'll say about it for now. I said enough. Just kind of want you to know that, so that you can be aware, and hopefully, keep some ducats back in your pocket for those Friday nights that you want to go and take somebody out and have a good time. Okay, have a good one.